All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to Black Ops 1 in the year 2023. Now, I'm going to warn you guys ahead of time that this is going to be a longer video, if not a much longer video than usual in this commentary, because this game deserves it. But about the first 10 to 15 minutes of it or so is going to be basically I'm going to get the gist of it within that period of time. And then I'm going to go off on a tangent because, quite frankly, this game more than deserves it. So this is how my day started today, okay, as of this recording. I was off today from work, so, I got started with my day relatively late. I just started off chilling or whatnot, and I kept on debating in my head on whether or not I should play Black Ops 1. Now that Microsoft has acquired Activision Blizzard, the servers are all working and stuff like that. We have people playing. I've seen footage, yada, yada, yada. And I already played Black Ops 2, and after about 2 hours of playing a Black Ops 2, I'm like, well, I played that game so much that I don't want to play it anymore. Plus, there's the hacking and stuff like that. It's like I've been there before, right? And I've obviously played Call of Duty Black Ops 1 before. So I decide I called my local GameStop, and I asked them if they had any more copies of Black Ops 1, and they said no. They had Modern Warfare 3 for $5, but Black Ops 1 they didn't have. Unless you were to get the Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 bundle or whatnot, but that was worth like $44. And he also told me, he's like, hey, whatever you're going to get it now, because the prices are going to increase now that Microsoft has turned the servers back on and all that other stuff. And obviously in the store, on the Xbox Live store, all the Call of Duty titles, the classic ones, are like 50% off at this point. So I think about it for a few minutes, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to get it digitally for $15, and we'll go from there. So I purchase it. It downloads fairly quickly, because back in the day, games were a lot shorter in gigs. I mean, it was what, like 7 gigs or something like that? My goodness. But anyway, I get on, and I play the game. And I play a few games, and I don't want to put it down. And I play a few more games. I play a few more games, and I play a few more games. And the next thing I know, 3 hours have gone by. And I start feeling hungry, but I don't want to get up to go to the kitchen to cook some food. And I play for another hour before finally giving in to the hunger. And then I eat, watch videos about the game, and then I get back on and play a little longer before deciding to stream. I was originally just planning to post the video today and record for more videos and stuff like that. But no. I streamed Black Ops 1 for like another 3 hours, give or take. So basically, long story short, I spent my entire day playing Call of Duty Black Ops 1 in the year 2023. And do I have any regrets about that? No. Did I find any cheaters? Only one. And it was the invisibility glitch or whatever the hell it is, or the invisibility cheat, and I just backed out of lobby and I found another one. Does it take long to find lobbies? Hell to the no, it does not. Does the game play like it did before? Yes, it does. You're gonna find a whole bunch of old players. As a matter of fact, check this out. I might even have some of it recording, but you guys are probably not going to hear it, at least not in this video, because I lowered the volume so that way you guys can hear me. But basically what happened was, even in the lobby, they're like, man, I heard the guys talking. They're like, man, we are going to get so spoiled now going back and playing this game. Oh man, I feel so spoiled. The servers are back on, all that kind of stuff. And at the same time, you also heard some trash talk. There was some old school trash talk where like this one guy was so pissed that he kept getting his ass handed to him. Not by me. I mean, I had my fair share of good games, but I also had my fair share of bad games. And when I streamed, I really played like shit, except for like a couple of games here and there. I don't know. There's just something about streaming, for instance. Maybe I just wasn't as relaxed. Maybe I was also subconsciously paying attention to the chat. Whatever. I'm not going to make excuses. I played like shit. It was just a bad stream day in terms of me playing, and it'll get better. But ultimately, everything that you remember about Call of Duty Black Ops 1, all these years later, is still there. Now, you're probably going to see more people that know what the meta is in the game, and you're going to see a lot of FAMASs and stuff like that. You're going to see a lot of Ghost. And yeah, I'll admit, my main... The loadout that I used today, for the majority of my plays, like 95% of my playtime, was as follows. I was using the Commando with a suppressor, and I was using Ghost, Ninja, and Sleight of Hand. That was basically my my setup. Simple as that. And of course, you had your Semtex, your stun, or your concussion, or whatever it was, and then I used the radar jammer for my equipment or whatnot, and that was it. And I was running UAV, counter UAV, and Cobra for the most part. So, and I had a blast with it. I had a blast with it. Everything that you expect from a Call of Duty Black Ops game is here. Black Ops 1 is here, and it works just like you remember it. Now, there's also, let's see, there's about, like, when you log in, you're going to see that it's going to say 100,000 plus people. That's not true. The true number is about 9,000. And how do I know this? Well, you go into, to where it says search for a match or whatnot. And when you see, your regular public matches and stuff like that for core, you will see the total number of players. And then you go to hardcore, you'll see the total number of players. You'll see the party game players, you see the DLC players or whatnot. So you add all those up, you'll have about 9,000. And that was during the peak hours of, I don't know. I could get on right now after recording this and the number might stay the same, but basically it was about 9,000 people, give or take. In Black Ops 2, there's about 11,000, but most of them are chalked. Unfortunately, the Black Ops 2 is still hacked by a good amount. I was still able to get a whole bunch of a decent amount of good games because, again, I had the gameplay footage for the previous video. But still, I can tell you there's still a lot of BS going on. But I played this game for about 9 hours or so today, and I only, there was only one time where there was a cheater and I just backed out of lobby and found a new one. Like, I was, I didn't want to deal with that crap. He was even on my team and I didn't want to deal with it. But everything else that I dealt with, I found a bunch of new players. I've seen a few prestige masters. I've seen people of all skill levels. I've seen it all. It's all there. Like, the noobs are there, the good players are there, and the in-betweeners are there. So, and just going through everything like it was back in 2010 or 2011 when this game came out, you hear the music when the match is about to start. It only takes a few seconds to find a match and to get into a lobby, even though there's only 9,000 people compared to the 1 million or whatever it was at launch when this game launched all these years ago, the 13 years ago or however long it was. You can still find matches very fast. Again, the maps, the spawns, the music before the match starts, the announcer, spy plane online, all that stuff. Everything that is nostalgic that you remember for Black Ops 1 is very much alive and well in the year 2023, and I cannot believe that I'm saying that. I really can't. And at the same time, it'll also give you memories about what you liked about the game and what you didn't like about the game. Like, right, obviously, here's the thing. Black Ops 1 was so good that we kind of let the bad hit detection slide, right? Or the bad flinch, we let that shit slide. Speaking of which, the only pro perk I have is like Sleight of Hand Pro, really. Everything else, I don't even have the pro version of it. Because you have to do these challenges, and some of them I think require you to play a different game mode or whatnot. So, but at the same time, I don't care. Everything that a Call of Duty needs or an arcade first-person shooter needs, this game has. Of course, with some BS thrown in as well. I wish there wasn't as much flinch, to be honest with you. Obviously, drop shotting is pretty damn useful if you are able to use it properly, especially when you jump shot into a drop shot. You can definitely take advantage of that, and as I did today as well. But yeah, man, the weapons feel good. Everything feels good, just as you remember it. And if you've been sticking with Call of Duty all this time, and if you've gotten better, you're actually going to like the game even more. And that's simply like, for instance, me, I sucked at Black Ops 1. I was still very much a noob when this game was out, right? So now that I'm playing it all these years later, I'm able to enjoy the merits of that. But at the same time, I still get my butt handed to me. There's still things about this game that I'm learning, and because I'm treating this game a lot like Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3 because it is a Black Ops game, but at the same time, I have to constantly remind myself that this is not the case. It is Black Ops 1. So, again, still getting used to the spawn system or where people are coming from or where they might be hidden or whatnot. But I can tell you that Ghost, Commando, Suppressor, and Ninja were my go-to, and it was really great picking people off. And I absolutely enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it, man. I cannot express that enough. And quite frankly, I will say this. Because after all these years of when I played Call of Duty so much, and again, the only reason I'm even playing the game now is because of what Microsoft did, and who knows what they might do in the future. And just so you guys know, I'm just going to put this as a side note here and now. I am still very much anticipating X-Defiant. I am very much anticipating X-Defiant. And no, I don't have high hopes for Modern Warfare 3, despite the leaks and stuff that have come out as of recently. But I do not care about that game right now. We're probably not going to see much of a difference in Call of Duty for another year or two in terms of you know, when Microsoft really gets the swing of things and really just kind of gets the wheels turning, because everything takes time, especially when it comes to the newer titles, right? So I don't care about that at this point. Again, X Defiant is going to give me more than what I want, and at the same time, these classic Call of Duties now are enough. Like for instance, I mean, having Black Ops 1 as an option is great. I'm even debating on getting Modern Warfare 3. And for those of you guys that have been playing Modern Warfare 3, let me know what your experience is on Modern Warfare 3 down in the comment section below. But going back to Black Ops 1 here, this game managed to do something that even the Call of Duty that I consider to be the greatest Call of Duty of all time in terms of multiplayer in Call of Duty Black Ops 2, with all due respect to everybody's opinion, I will say that in terms of how I feel in this, how this game is making me feel, honestly, I have to say that in terms of feeling alone, you know, taking the complete, you know, the complete thought process out, right, and just going by how I feel, this game here feels like the greatest Call of Duty ever made, or the greatest Black Ops game out of them all, to be honest with you, you know. And the thing is, I mean, it's probably perhaps because I'm experiencing the game in a way that I've never experienced it before, with the amount of knowledge I have now versus what I had in 2010. And in 2010, I didn't know anything. And now in 2023, well, you know, I've been through the ringer. I've been through the ups and downs of Call of Duty. I understand what it takes to get better, and I did what I had to do to get better the right way. No cheating, no BS like some of the other people that you guys might have seen on streams or different channels or whatever. No reverse boosting, no Cronus Zen, no bullshit, none of that. I learned how to get better the proper way, and you know, experiencing that in this game and kind of relearning this game and seeing this game from a different perspective is something that made it just that much better for me. It was like playing something familiar but yet different, because it's like, okay, now it's like I get to kind of go back in time. That's what it feels like. It feels like I kind of get to go back in time and play the game the way it was played back in the day, and except this time I got my knowledge of what I've learned. It's kind of like, you know, literally being able to go in a time machine and revisit your younger self and slap yourself in the face and say, no, do this or play this, or this is how this works, or something like that, right? And yes, if somebody were to actually ask me that question, Jack, if you were to go back and meet your younger self, well, what would be one of the first things you do? Well, I always playfully say that I would slap myself in the face, but what I mean by that is like, it's more of a thing like, wake the hell up, you know, don't, a couple of things. I would tell myself not to teach martial arts as a career. You know, do it as a hobby, but don't do it as a career. Don't do it as a job, because financially speaking, it'd be a waste of time, and it would be a big heartbreaker. Number one, and of course, number two, I would say do not go out with that girl. That's two things right there that I would teach myself. I mean, sure, I've learned my lessons, stuff like that, but from a financial perspective and from a couple of other perspectives, man, it just wasn't worth it. But anyway, but looking at this game now, it really is a pleasure to kind of going back to Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and just enjoying the merits of the fact that I've learned a lot throughout the years. And at the same time, I also get to see like how Call of Duty has evolved, obviously some for the better, and in a few other ways, some for the worst, depending on how you look at it. But yes, Call of Duty Black Ops 1, I see now more clear than ever, right? More clear than ever why it was so special, right? Why it was so special. And again, I'm not playing like, how do I put this? It's not like I'm stomping every lobby. That's not the case at all. Especially if you watched my stream, right? So ultimately, Call of Duty Black Ops 1 was truly special at its time. And in this day and age, it's a true classic. It's a true classic, and I would even go as far as to say that it's a timely classic. And everything from the weapons, from the perks, the maps themselves, the streaks, the announcer, how the game works, the whole contract system and the way they implemented that with Prestige and how you get camos and stuff like that. Black Ops 1 really was a treasure. It really was a treasure, and some of us, the majority of us, enjoyed it back in the day. And some of us did not, of course. Everybody's got their own preferences and flavors and stuff like that. But I think, especially in this day and age now, in terms of what the Call of Duty community has been getting over the last few years, I think it's safe to say that pretty much all of us, if not the vast majority of us, really appreciate Call of Duty Black Ops 1 more than ever now, even though in the past we may have not, and it may have not been our specific type of Call of Duty, right? In terms of what we prefer, right? But most people really did like Black Ops 1 back in the day. And to this day, Black Ops 1 holds the record of the most units sold at like what, 31 million or something like that. It is an incredible achievement to this day. And you know what? The fun factor in the game, in my opinion, is still there. Even though we have a fraction of the community that still plays this game or that has returned to this game, there's a lot of people that still don't know about it. So maybe when they find out, maybe we'll get more players. You never know. But 10,000 still damn good. It's still good to have about 8 or 9,000 or whatnot. I rounded it up to 10, of course. But if you're getting that many players, it's still pretty damn good, especially considering how old the games are. And this is a good thing. You know why? Because it's going to open Microsoft's eyes even more. It's communication with Microsoft. It's literally telling them that, hey, this is what we want. And ultimately, if we start bitching, at least Microsoft is going to listen a hell of a lot better than the old Activision. And what I mean by old Activision is obviously before they got acquired. So that's what I'm going to refer to as new Activision, old Activision. So only time will tell in terms of what they're going to do with everything in terms of the feedback that we give them, among other things. But ultimately, guys, if you have Call of Duty Black Ops 1, or if you're hesitant about it, I would say in terms of my experience today, with 9 hours pretty much straight, except taking a little bit of time off to cook some food, and of course to use the bathroom a little bit, as well as chatting with my stream a little bit at the end before closing down the stream, I would say overall, guys, Black Ops 1 is very much intact. It is very much here, and the experience, at least my experience personally, has been good. I mean, I don't think it can get any better. I really can't complain, other than the fact that, of course, there were times where I just got my ass handed to me, but that's not the game's fault. That's basically my fault. It's something that I'm doing wrong and somebody else was doing right. So I would never, ever, dog a game if I'm just because I'm performing bad at it. That's not necessarily the game's fault. So, very rarely is that the case. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So, but Black Ops 1, awesome. I think we're due for a remaster at this point. I would really love a Black Ops 1 remastered with a couple of little changes, like how do I put this? Like for instance, I would replace Second Chance with let's say Stalker, for instance, to give us some good old strafe speed with the assault rifles, which would be awesome and make the game even better. And another thing that I would do is obviously improve on that hit detection. So, but and of course, improve Ghost to the point to where, hey, it only moves if you're moving. It only works if you're moving, kind of like Black Ops 2. But again, Black Ops 1, truly a treasure. I highly recommend you go back and play it if you enjoyed it back in the day. If you didn't enjoy it back in the day, then obviously you're not going to enjoy it today. Unless you're so fed up with these newer Call of Duties that you actually end up enjoying Black Ops 1, which could certainly be a possibility. But for the most part, if you really didn't enjoy Black Ops 1 back in the day, you're most likely not going to enjoy it today. Because again, some people didn't like Black Ops 1 because, again, the hit detection, or some people didn't like Black Ops 1 because it was very, how do I put this? It was very quiet compared to like what Modern Warfare 2 was, because Modern Warfare 2 was very was kind of loud, and this one's a little bit more calm, so to speak, and a little bit more balanced depending on how you look at it. But yeah, I really have nothing else to say, guys. Again, it's on sale at the Xbox Live Store, or if you have a disc, if you have an Xbox, it'll play on Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X. So unfortunately, the original Xbox won't play because it didn't come out on the original Xbox. So if you have a 360 or newer, then you can definitely play this game. You can get a disc, or you can download it digitally, again, for 15 bucks. And I will likely come back and play this game again. I will likely use this game to prepare myself for XDefiant in terms of the mechanics. And so far, I've been having a blast. And again, I'm always open to learning something new that I didn't know before about an old classic Call of Duty game, because quite frankly, when you don't play a certain game for a while, there's things that escape you. So kind of getting that is pretty cool, and experiencing that in this day and age is pretty cool in a way that I didn't back in 2010 for varying reasons. So anyway, that's all I got. I know this was a longer than usual commentary, but I wanted to get everything out there. So let me know what your experience is with Black Ops 1 if you have played it. If you have not played it, I hope this encouraged you to at least give it a shot. And I hope you enjoy it when you get it. And remember, don't necessarily take my word for it. You can also look at other content creators. You can ask people on Twitter and stuff like that. But I just wanted to share this with you and give you my personal experience. And the experience has been better than Black Ops 2, like night and day better, because there's no hacking. Well, there's minimal hacking compared to Black Ops 2. Let's put it that way. So, but yeah, if there are any questions you have, let them be known down in the comments section, and I will do my best to answer them if I do have an answer. Or maybe somebody else will see it and they'll have an answer for you if I don't. So, with that being said, thank you very much for taking the time to watch and/or listen. And yeah, the days of Call of Duty, they're looking potentially bright. We'll see what Microsoft does. So let's. I'm cautiously optimistic, but at the same time, I have my fingers crossed. But if not, remember we've got X Defiant, and it's still something that I still look forward to the same way that I did, a week ago, a few days ago, a month ago, or whatnot. Still highly, highly, highly anticipated. So anyway, thank you guys again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.